Okay, so I don't know. I started getting a bunch of calls and I was trying to dismiss them and somehow it turned off my video. But so what I was saying about, the God and the devil, that is all by your own perception, your own ideas of what is good and bad and what is evil and stuff. That's how you determine, that's like the spectrum. But you set the spectrum on each pole. That is coming from you. And that is the manipulation too with the stuff. And it is like it's trickery kind of, with religion to get you to like put all your faith in what you believe into. It's a false idol. And in the Bible, it says don't have false idols, but they're telling you, focus on this idol, but don't focus on any of the rest of them. You shouldn't be focusing on any of them. There is no idol out there. You can look up to people. You can try and live by people's standards. Just like when I was talking to my daughter again, where she's like, "You're a bad listener. I'm a good listener," and I said, it made me think like, even if you're a good listener for one person, you're a good listener for everybody else. And then she was telling me after that, the different things to her that makes a good listener, and that she tries to do that. So she actively tries to be aware of how to present as a good listener, so, that's good. If you think being a good listener is important, that not everybody needs a good listener, but sometimes we all do want to have a time that we're heard. So I don't know. There's just so many things that I think that we get so hung up on, like to think that we're good because we do this and we're bad if we do this and all that stuff. We get so hung up on it energetically, and it has no meaning. It really has no meaning. So it is all like where you decide, just like I've said it so many times. How can anyone think that this created God is somebody worth worshiping? He sounds like the most egomaniac, narcissistic being out there, So how is it that you want, your whole goal in life is just to say you like his son, and that, the winning ticket is you get to sit at his feet and sing to him for eternity and wash his feet. It's like, none of it makes sense to me at all. It sounds ludicrous. I did write it down, so that's what I'm looking at now. Because then I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that again. I got to write it down. So I wrote it down. But then I never even understand what I write down. But in the show, they were showing how religion is used, like this trickery. And so that is part of disclosure too, because they make it like they think showing us this stuff that means that because we don't freak out, we all think it's entertainment, that they are telling us the truth. But it's all manipulation and lies. They're not telling us the truth, and that's why it's against our human rights. And that's why there's going to be so many crimes against human rights right now. It's going to be fucking huge. But, and then also in this show, and it's just so crazy because this is right after when the phone cut off, I couldn't remember at all what I was talking about. So I had to give it a minute. So I just started the show back. And she started talking about exactly what I was talking about. And I was like, oh, yeah. So I was talking about like when you choose what energy you are going to feed off of, listen to, communicate with, or whatever, and how people are being manipulated. Like they don't understand there's communication going on, and so they're listening to stuff that isn't good. And she starts doing that. She gets to a desperate point, a point where she feels as, she has to protect her family, a point where she feels that killing somebody is not, it's what she has to do to survive. And then it shows how that pulled her over to the dark spirit, because they play it all out with three-dimensional characters. Remember, if you're looking at everything as an energetic, like when you're watching the show, if you detach from the thing that they're showing you, the imagery, and just the idea, the idea of it being an energy. And then, yeah, now she is more taken over. Like, she can't touch a cross now, because, you know, that's the good, the positive, and now she's in the negative. But I do like the way that they do show, like, the communication and stuff, because that's all real. And I don't know, you know, the part, well, I think that people wouldn't even understand it if they didn't show it is a three-dimensional being sitting there. They even have one part where the devil is being counseled by the devil. You know, like the earth devil, land devil, I don't know. He's being counseled by the goat devil. So, but I don't think people, their heads are on so much about three, like, you have to have like a certain kind of a character, an avatar, in order to understand it. So yeah, so God has to be this certain thing, the devil has to be this certain thing, aliens have to be this, angels, devil, you know, the whole thing. But it's all just energy, and it's all in resonance, all in frequency. And there is low, there is, you know, stuff that is out to cause harm and destruction. But you have to have the dark to see the light. So everything has to, like, one of the things in that show, the other show, not this, the show Evil, I think, has a lot of stuff that's disclosing a lot of information that I think is right on point. But, and also in Initiation, I think that show is just right on. And he was talking about something with the communication or something. But he was saying something, I don't remember now what I was going to say, of course. But it was the same thing. And see, that's why I get like, something will come to me and I'll talk about it or whatever. And then, you know, sometimes I'm just like, fuck, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just saying a bunch of shit that they just keep telling me to fucking say. And so then I'll be like, sometimes when I'm communicating with them, like, definitely been times where I've been like, you know, well, I guess already if my whole family thinks I'm crazy, what's the difference if the whole world thinks I'm crazy? What the fuck difference does it make, really? You know? So, I don't know. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, the show on Initiation, that he says some stuff that is... when it came to me, it was like confirmation of stuff. And that's what I get all the time, is they send me confirmation. Like, after I talk about something, and I've said this a bunch of times, then they'll bring me videos and stuff. And they'll bring it like all... people all have different communication tools. I like YouTube. And I'll just say, you know, bring me what I need to see, bring me what I need to know. And there will be, it's crazy how you will have questions answered directly. But you got to find your own communication way. You know, my way may sound completely ridiculous to some people, but it works really well for me. And so they'll bring me stuff that is the same thing that I was already talking about. And so then I'll see other people are saying the same things. And so it makes me feel like, okay, well, at least if I'm crazy, there's a bunch of us out there. But I've turned now to the point where I see things a lot more different. Like, I think that there's really a purpose why some of us have gone through these things and are at this certain point are speaking out about certain things. The spiritual stuff and getting people to see things outside of this three-dimensional created way of looking at things, because it is so manipulated. And it seems like to me it would be simple if somebody could just like look at the whole thing about God and the devil and see like, how are they different? And, you know, that some people would, you know, I know some people would just jump right in. Well, the devil wants human sacrifices and stuff. Well, I mean, how do you know that's not part of God's thing too? You know? I mean, look at how many people, like, you have to die to even get there. So, I don't know. I just don't see it as being different, and it definitely showing in that show. Oh, but in initiation, that was another thing I wanted to say about that initiation. When he was talking about certain things, like he said, when you get up in like the sixth or seventh dimension or whatever, that think of it as frequencies and stuff. It's like thought waves or something. Like different ways of looking at things. And when you get up to this one, there's a lot of planning and stuff that goes on. And maybe it's like where the Galactic Federation is or something. But he said when there's a problem, this is where what you would think of as being angels and demons live together, because it takes both of them. So sometimes something bad has to happen to have the good thing be the reaction. And that's what people haven't quite got their idea around yet about. But when you start looking at life under reincarnation and, where things make sense while you're here, when you start looking at that kind of stuff, then you start seeing it. It is so much different. And things that you have to go through that are painful are for a positive thing comes out of bad things, just like my brain injury, I mean, I could still be hung up and, sit and feel sorry for myself and stuff. It wouldn't be productive. I would be wasting more of my life. And, I mean, it could be I have limitations, but I would be limiting myself by not just living my best life, whatever my circumstances. And I think that's what we all have to kind of get into our heads. It's, always be living like your best life. Don't be held back by things. And the communication thing, see, I don't remember if I completed that about the these ideas of what God and the devil are, and how it's like the same kind of idea. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm just going all over the place, like I'm not finishing sentences. I've just got way too many things coming into my head at once. Sometimes that just happens. It's like a flood, and I can't separate all the different things. But anyways, I feel like that show Evil has a lot of disclosure stuff, that a lot of stuff is really true. But it's sold to you as entertainment, so you may not understand. But it shows all the things that I keep talking about. It shows them right there in that show. And in Initiation, there's so much truth in that show. I think it's all truth. But, there's a lot of stuff out there that you can look into more if you just, if you are kind of stuck in that idea, because it has been a huge thing to control people here, religion and fear. And if you have always questioned that, but you kind of feel more forced into like, well, everybody else thinks it, everybody else believes it, like, well, who am I to say it's not? Then, but you just don't feel it in your heart, and you are trying to look into stuff more. Look into the stuff about our true history and about aliens and stuff. Like, I mean, just the fact when I was a little kid, and the stuff about the pyramids, and the whole time in my head I'm hearing the aliens made it. What in the hell are they talking about? The aliens did, like, and the manipulation just in how the technology that was there, in the technology and information that has been lost, where we've gone backwards. That is, but it was part of the human experience, because the humans had to bring themselves up, because they did have alien involvement back then. I mean, that's how the DNA and stuff got structured. That's how they started different life forms here. And, they were there in the beginning to help, but then once it went to a certain point, but it really makes me think about, like, what is missing? How is it that we can't continue information from one generation to the next? I know there's some, like, older tribes and stuff. Like, there's tribes that still talk about, I heard about one, I don't remember if it's Brazilian or what, but they talk, their elders' stories that are passed on are from the very beginning of their tribe and their communication with the aliens all the way back. So some are able to keep information going. I think that's why they've not wanted tribes and stuff. They don't want the storytelling. They don't want elders. They don't want wise people. They don't want us to learn about nature. They don't want us to learn about ourselves. There's just so much stuff they want to restrict us, and religion has been a huge part of it. So yeah, if you're looking for things, you got to really explore stuff, and the reincarnation, near-death experiences. There's tons and tons. Just go out and listen to lots of different channelers and mediums and stuff. And you'll start finding so many that are saying the same things, and the people don't know each other. Some of the people know each other, and some may watch them and just go and say what someone else is saying. I don't know. That's why I'm glad they show me stuff after. I don't go out looking, like, for stuff. Like, I don't go out looking like, oh, okay, what am I going to talk about? But I'll see something on a show, or sometimes when I'm just looking to see, like, how we're progressing with, everything being exposed, and, where we're at. Because it's almost July, too. If July is really going to be significant, like, we're there. Anything can happen anytime. But I do like to go in and check in on a few different people and see, like, is there progress? And to me, I see progress. I see things moving forward. And but that still doesn't mean it's not going to be, a rough next however long it's going to take. There can still be lots of bad stuff. But I still know we're moving forward. And so there's lots of information out there, because if you do have that feeling that things just aren't right and you're being lied to, then you're listening to your inner self. So that's the good news, because that's all true. So yeah, I would just say, look at things through a different perspective when you watch shows. Just look at it, like, especially supernatural ones. There's so much manipulation of trying to get people to fear aliens and ghosts and stuff. And to me, I've always thought it was just so ridiculous. It's so silly. Just like, how people thought the stuff of the old ancient stuff that is built, people that right there didn't give them a clue. Like, that we have other beings from other places that come and communicate with us. It's silly. But it's part of the manipulation. So, and I know it's true, though. I know it's true that people really don't believe it, because I was one of those people who has always been talking about it since I was little. And I was always told I was crazy, and that laughed at, because that's not true. And anyways, people are about to find out. Yeah, things were very different than what they've been told. So anyways, I've just been sitting here rambling, but now I'm all alone. So what else I got to do? And it's 100 and something outside. So, and there hasn't been any big fires yet. And yesterday we had our power all day, and today it hasn't gone out yet. The other day it went out a whole bunch of times, and then I saw a whole bunch of different people, and it just kept going out, and it wasn't even in the hundreds yet. So now it's been in the hundreds, it's not going out. So I don't know. But still, I mean, there's a lot of cities around me that have the next week to go with the high temperatures. So fires can come any day, anytime. They're going to be hitting us hard somehow. They want to kill, they think that they can win if they, I guess, kill a bunch of us and stuff. Like they could stop the awakening, but the awakening's already happened. It's already written in the stars, you know. You can't stop it. They can try and pull all the demon devil energy in and do all their spells and stuff like that, but humans have woke up. We're powerful too. We're learning about it. So good luck. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.